Ethan has recently responded to the news about Trisha being pregnant with her third child, sharing his opinion that she lied about being infertile in order to gain sympathy and clout.
Oh, Trisha's pregnant. You guys want to talk about fun stuff? Remember when she came on Frenemies and straight up lied about having fertility problems for clout? Yeah, that's what's happening. Trisha straight up lied for clout about being infertile.
He brought up how Trisha tried to shame him for celebrating the announcement of his own second child, making it about her infertility, an infertility he now believes never existed.
And actually got mad at me and caused a whole scene when I announced that Hila was pregnant when she was perfectly capable of having babies, and now she's pregnant with her third baby.
For reference as to what Ethan is referring to, here is how Trisha reacted to the announcement of Hila being pregnant with Ethan's second child.
The title was like pregnancy announcement, which is, I'm happy to talk about the pregnancy.
We talked a lot about the pregnancy here.
But it wasn't the pregnancy announcement. H3 Live was. It's your guys' thing, which I'm happy to talk about. I'm happy for you guys. But to say like, oh, we don't recycle things, it's like, you know, you do, and it's fine. But I don't make it the same title because it's not an announcement. We're talking about your pregnancy.
I wouldn't say recycling. It's a different conversation.
The original one was Trisha's gonna like something, and it doesn't have to be about me. But I'm just saying like the fact that it's a pregnancy announcement again when it's not a pregnancy announcement because I'm not pregnant. You know what I mean? We're talking about your guys' pregnancy. It was an announcement. You announced it on H3 Live.
Oh, you thought that people would think it was about you being pregnant?
Of course it was. Not. It's just like, I watch H3 Live. I don't want to talk about it on Frenemies. Like, if we're being honest,
well,
you know.
we were going to talk about Hila being pregnant, obviously.
Of course.
Yeah.
But the title has to be pregnancy announcement?
I don't see why that's a problem.
It's not an announcement. You weren't announcing it.
Okay, so Hila's pregnant, and I'm talking about it with Trisha. Would you prefer that?
Anything to be more creative. It's like
Trisha shamed Ethan for being excited about his second child, criticizing him for announcing it on their shared podcast when he had already announced it on his own, as if Hila getting pregnant with a child she struggled to have wasn't huge news. She claimed it was because Ethan had already announced it on one platform and therefore didn't need to announce it on all of his other ones, even though when Trisha was pregnant she announced it on every platform available. For some reason in Trisha's mind, Ethan and Hila's pregnancy wasn't worth announcing on Frenemies, yet her own would be. Hence why she said the title bothered her, because she wasn't even pregnant, yet her co-host was having a child, and that wasn't allowed to take center stage of the title. Seems fair, right? Ethan went on to call Trisha a pathological liar, claiming that she lied about all aspects of her life while on their shared podcast. And he's right, she did. And we have a series coming up on that soon that will show you just how many lies were told and just how deep they went.
People say she didn't lie, she thought she was. Okay. That's so obviously Trisha, who is a pathologically lied about every aspect of her life. Did she think she was? I don't know.
Fans defended Trisha, stating that she never said she was infertile, just said she thought she was. But that isn't true. Trisha straight out said that she was infertile, not that she thought she was.
Right. It's a little insensitive because I'm infertile.
Ethan went on to say that he found it suspicious that Trisha had no problem conceiving, having back-to-back-to-back pregnancies, after claiming she wouldn't have any children. Ethan and his own wife struggled to become pregnant, so it makes sense why he's so upset that she lied about it, because he knows just how difficult it is to get pregnant when there's fertility issues. He brings up how Trisha had shamed him and Hila again, and he's right, she did. As you saw earlier in this video of the clip of Trisha on Frenemies criticizing him for announcing news that he was excited about because it didn't involve her.
I said, this woman's on her third baby, and she went and she shamed me and my wife for announcing we got pregnant, and then she had 3 babies like consecutively, like no problem, like bam, 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 like exactly planned, like bam, 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 like perfect planning. You have to test a ton of eggs. You don't go bam, 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 like a year and a half, and a year and a half. like perfect family planning. I'm sorry, like that's just up to lie about I think she lied about being infertile.
And he's right. Each baby she planned for she had in the exact time frame she planned for it. The first being immediately after her wedding, like she wanted. She got married in December of 2021, and 2 months later, in February of 2022, she announced her pregnancy. She then spoke of her and her husband's plans for a second child to come in early 2024.
Ideally, we'd like 2 more kids. I would love to have another baby when I'm 35. And then, you know, so now we're hoping and planning it'll be early next year, early 2024.
And then had her second child in the exact time frame she planned it. And had her third child exactly when she planned it. Remember, she planned her second and third at the same time and had them exactly when she wanted them. Here she said she wanted her third in 2025.
And then I would love to have one like late 2025.
There was no surprise, no struggle. She planned each pregnancy and successfully followed through. It's no wonder Ethan is upset about this. She used her infertility as a sword and a shield to use against Ethan, not just once, but multiple times. Remember, she also used it against him when she claimed that he made a comment about having children, knowing that she couldn't have any, when all along she knew that she could.
Okay. And do you know what it's like being with a 1.5-year-old?
Of course not, because I don't have a parent.
Right.
It's a little insensitive because I'm infertile, and it's a really issue that I struggle with.
Well, I
so
ask is because you realize that you can't do any work when you're with.
You're saying, do you have kids? Throwing it in my face that I don't. So.
No, that's not what I was doing.
It's exactly what you were doing because you know I don't have kids. So
no,
why would you ask
my
the question
point was
that
you're.
She used her infertility to paint Ethan in a bad light, claiming that he was using it against her to shame her for it, when he wasn't. And all along she wasn't even infertile. And if you believe she was, and had 3 miracles back to back to back at the exact moment she wanted them, then it's a miracle that you yourself have made it this far in life. Ethan stated that he thought it was wrong for her to lie about something so serious, diving into how difficult it is for those who actually do struggle with infertility.
That's my opinion. I think she lied about being infertile, and I think it's as just someone who knows Trisha and was on the receiving end of all that she put us through for having a baby and going through. We went through IVF too, and the way that we raised our kids, constantly questioning us. I think it's mega to lie about being infertile for clout, and it's not the first thing she lied about. So, like, yeah, she said she thought she was infertile, but who gives a what she said? She's a liar. And by the way, like I said, how many infertile people can do IVF? Bam, bam, bam. 3 times in a row, bullseye every time. It doesn't work like that. She got pregnant like the day after they got married. That kind of timing is not what happens when you're infertile.
Keep in mind that Trisha did not struggle to try for any of these children at all. Every time she said she wanted a child and planned for it, it happened immediately. There was never an issue, and she never expected there to be an issue, which is why she said things like this during her first 2 pregnancies.
I think I'm pregnant this month, and in fact we had said we were gonna maybe wait a couple months before we, get help, because we were like actively trying. But like I said, I'm probably maybe a couple months before we actually seek help to get pregnant if we need to.
She specifically stated that her and her husband were not looking to get help to get pregnant because they didn't think they needed to, since they were confident in their ability to do it on their own. Why would someone with infertility issues believe it would be that easy? Why would they wait to get help if she was actually infertile? Why would she even think they could do it on their own? Here she was planning a baby in a specific time period, knowing she could get pregnant. How would she be able to plan a pregnancy for a specific time period if she was infertile? How could she be so sure she would get pregnant by then?
There's just, again, a lot going on, a lot of changes and stuff like that. So we're kind of just like taking it easy for a minute. I did a whole explanation in this Target blog where I'm talking about these, about like Chinese zodiacs and all that stuff and like what we're aiming for and trying to get the dragon. And we're still in the year of the rabbit right now, trying to get pregnant. So it's a whole thing if you want to see it.
Here she was stating she wasn't even stressed about getting pregnant for a second time because she knew it would happen. How did she know that if she was infertile? Again, she states she'll get help if they can't do it themselves, but is sure they can. Why would going for help be her second option if she was actually infertile? Why would she think she could just get pregnant naturally without help if she was actually infertile?
Yeah, and we're trying for baby number 2, and we're heading into ovulation week this week, and it's always a really fun week because you get to do a lot of trying, and it's just super fun. And yeah, we're not like super stressed about it. Like I said, I think in a couple months, if we don't get pregnant on our own, we'll like probably go get help.
She never thought she was infertile, which is why she found it so easy to get pregnant every time she wanted to, and which is why she knew she didn't need help. Ethan was right. She lied. And this isn't the only thing she lied about.